Veteran Salute, sponsored by DeVaughn James Injury Lawyers.
Wednesday nights are special because that's the time for our weekly segment, Veteran Salute, our chance to honor heroes from this area and thank them for their service. Tonight, 27 News anchor Matthew Johnstone introduces us to Army veteran Kenny Rodriguez.
Growing up in Emporia, Specialist E4 Kenny Rodriguez was looking to serve locally in the Army Reserves while attending college and starting his family. He had to adjust quickly after being brought into the growing Desert Shield and Desert Storm conflict. With his father serving during the Vietnam conflict and his grandpa serving in World War II, the pride that comes from service stuck with Kenny from a young age.
That was instilled into me as a little kid. I knew I wanted to do two things when I became an adult. I wanted to go into the military, and then I wanted to be a police officer for as long as I can recall.
His plans to serve stateside shifted rapidly as the Gulf War ramped up overseas.
It didn't really set in that, hey, I'm in a war theater, so I was, enjoying it, and I was feeling pretty proud being over there.
Deployed to Saudi Arabia as a transport driver, Kenny drove a heavy equipment transporter.
Our job was to transport M1A1 tanks to the front line, so we transport them from the port, and we just keep transporting them up. Once they got closer to the Desert Storm of things, they would be fully combat loaded, which pretty safe feeling when you got a combat loaded tank on the back of your trailer.
Once the tanks were delivered, his unit would be given different tasks with nearby companies.
During the ground war, I got tasked out to a medical unit, field hospital, and we were transporting them to the front lines for all the injured soldiers. Once we crossed into Iraq, we got to the highway of death, which was just so long. It was such a long highway full of burnt out vehicles and burnt out people.
Through his time overseas, there was one aspect that really stood out to the specialist.
A lot of people don't know about it. The U.S. military is they'll treat other people's wounded just as much as they'll treat our wounded. So the first few days of us being there was Iraqi soldiers coming in, and then civilians getting caught in the crossfire. I don't know how the other countries operate, if we would get, afforded that luxury, being treated by their field hospitals, but, we, didn't even ask questions. We just treated their wounded.
Kenny would fulfill the other half of that childhood dream as well. He currently works patrol in the Emporia Police Department. Additionally, he does freelance video work on the side and just completed a music video for country artist Cynthia Rausch. Coming home has a storyline following a veteran's homecoming and features Kenny's hometown prominently. Working for you, Matthew Johnstone, 27 News.
We highlight veterans in our community every week, just like Kenny. If you know somebody that we could feature in this segment, please check the Veteran Salute section at KSNT.com. Plus, sharing their story is not the only way we honor these heroes, because each and every week the featured vet receives a gift. Take a look.
On behalf of DeVaughn James Injury Lawyers, we're honored to recognize this week's veteran who served our country in the Army Reserves and also a tour during Desert Storm. Kenny Rodriguez, thank you so much for your service.
Thank you. It was an honor to serve.
Veteran Salute, sponsored by DeVaughn James Injury Lawyers.